We all know that feeling, right? Being stressed. But what if I told you the chemical behind that feeling is also one of your body's greatest heroes? Today, we're going to get into the wild story of cortisol, this double-edged sword that can either save your life or, well, slowly break it down. We talk about being stressed out all the time, but what's actually happening inside us on a chemical level? When your heart starts pounding and your mind is racing, what's going on in there? Let's break down the science behind that feeling.
Okay, first up, let's meet the main character in our story. And you might be surprised to hear that we're going to frame it this way. For most of human history, cortisol has been our absolute number one built-in superhero.
So what is this stuff? Cortisol is a hormone that comes from your adrenal glands. They're these little guys that sit right on top of your kidneys. Think of it less like a simple alarm and more like your body's emergency first responder, the one that gets the call the second things get real.
And its job is, well, it's huge. Cortisol is a master manager. It literally controls how your body uses fuel. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory. It helps keep your blood pressure stable. And, this is the famous one, it gives you that massive surge of energy you need to handle a threat.
In a short-term emergency situation, this system is, honestly, it's flawless. Picture a car swerving towards you, your brain sees the danger, your adrenals pump out cortisol, and bam, you suddenly have the instant energy and sharp focus to leap out of the way. It's the perfect emergency response. But what happens when that fire alarm never shuts off? What happens when the emergency isn't a swerving car, but just everyday life? This is where our superhero's story takes a really dark turn.
And this right here, this is the crucial difference. It's not cortisol itself that's the bad guy, it's the duration. A helpful, protective burst of what we call acute stress becomes harmful, disruptive stress when it just stays high day after day. That's chronic stress, from work deadlines, money worries, you name it.
And the biggest arena where this villain causes problems, it's in the really delicate game between cortisol and your blood sugar. This is where the long-term damage really starts to set in. Okay, so in a crisis, cortisol's mission is simple. Flood your artery with energy, fast. And the fastest fuel source is sugar, glucose. So it basically tells your liver, hey, dump a bunch of sugar into the bloodstream now. The problem is, this puts it in direct conflict with another major hormone player, insulin.
Think of it like a hormonal tug of war. Cortisol's job is to pull the rope to raise blood sugar for that quick energy, but insulin is on the other end, pulling just as hard to lower blood sugar by helping your cells use it. In a healthy body, it's a perfect, balanced match.
But this is where it all goes wrong. When chronic stress keeps cortisol levels high, your body is constantly swimming in sugar. So your pancreas has to work overtime, pumping out more and more insulin to deal with it. And eventually your cells, they're just like, I can't listen to this anymore. They get so overwhelmed they start ignoring insulin signal. And that right there is insulin resistance.
So you might be thinking, okay, but so what? What does that actually mean for my health day to day? Why is this hormonal battle so dangerous?
The danger is very, very real. This state of constant high blood sugar and insulin resistance is a one-way street toward developing or making conditions like type 2 diabetes much, much worse. The very system designed to save you in an emergency starts to dismantle your health from the inside out. So that's the problem. But the story doesn't end there. The great news is we actually have a ton of influence over this whole system. We can help cortisol go back to being the hero it's meant to be. And let's be super clear about the goal here. We don't want to get rid of cortisol. We absolutely need it. It's supposed to follow a natural rhythm, peaking in the morning to get us going, and then dropping at night so we can sleep. The real mission is to manage the chronic stress that keeps that alarm bell ringing all day, totally wrecking that natural rhythm. So how do we actually do it? Well, our sources point to two incredibly powerful habits. First, quality sleep. Your body sees not sleeping enough as a major threat, which keeps cortisol high when it should be low. Good, deep sleep is when your body literally hits the reset button on this whole system. And second, meditation. Think of this as you actively telling that alarm system, hey, stand down, we're okay. It's a proven way to flip on your body's relaxation response and consciously bring cortisol levels down. All right, let's bring this all home. If you only remember one thing from all of this, what should it be? This quote really says it all. Cortisol is essential. We can't live without it. But
When it's constantly cranked up to 11, it just throws our whole system, especially our blood sugar management, into complete chaos.
The story of cortisol is really the story of a hero that gets forced into becoming a villain because of its circumstances. And that circumstance is chronic stress. The power to change that whole story, well, it lies in finding balance.
So the real takeaway is this. You have way more control over your body's chemistry than you might think. A good night's sleep isn't just rest, it's hormonal regulation. 5 minutes of quiet time isn't just calming, it's a chemical intervention. So the question isn't if you can manage your stress, it's how you'll choose to rewrite your body's story starting today. That's all for this one.